Hey guys, Vern Danke. Today we are in the city of Bacong. Now, if you want to learn a little bit about history and how to tell if a town is old in the Philippines, there's some things that you can look for. A town in the Philippines is typically laid out in a grid type pattern if the Spanish designed the city. And also in each city there will be a church across from a plaza, across from a market. And every old Philippines town will have that. So here I am today at the Bacong Plaza Market / Church. Let's check it out.
Hey, Vern.
So there's the famous Jose Rizal statue in Bacong. Now every city's park has a Jose Rizal statue in it. And this park there is no exception. So this is where we're at. It's a really nice park here, actually. One of the nicer parks. And this is a really old town, Bacong. This is the town that's very close to Dumaguete. And we'll walk over here and we'll look at another statue. They have one of my favorite statues, which is called the Horse and Rider statue. We'll look at that one first. So today I'm using my wireless microphone, so if you think the audio is good, let me know. Hopefully it'll be more consistent. All right, so this is a really wonderful statue. Now if this was in America, somebody would tear this down, I'm sure. You know, it's just the craziness that's going on back home. Look at that, that's powerful. That's a powerful statue. Now, one thing, much to my surprise, when talking to a lot of different Filipinos, not many Filipinos know their history. And I think that's a tragedy. I think more people should know more about their history. Even their family history, if you ask them, most people don't know where their family, where their grandparents are from, or even their grandparents. And I think that's too bad. And I'm not sure if that had something to do with the war and the occupation of the Philippines. Maybe people wanted to just forget about the past. I don't know. But I found it kind of ironic that not many people know much about their history. And it's a shame, really. All right, so let's see. Is this another Jose Rizal statue? Or is this somebody else? Let's find out. Pantaleon Villegas. Not sure who he is. It's all in Bisaya. So let's find out what he's about. Well, I probably didn't say that right, but Pantaleon Villegas, Leon Quilat, 1873 to 1898. Now, if it wasn't for some of these monuments, I wouldn't have a clue to know anything about these people or that they were even special. So it's really important that we learn our history, we try to save what we can, and we share that with all the generations. So the reason I came to this park in specific is because it's next to one of the really old churches here. Now, when I say there's not much history left here in the Philippines, there really isn't compared to a lot of other countries. The only thing that you have that's really old that's left is some churches, some forts, just a few houses, not much. And that's it. I think that's really too bad. I tend to think that a lot of the houses that were built in such a way that they didn't last in this climate. They didn't last with the bugs, and things were more of a temporary nature. Where in other countries, everything is usually built to last or outlast. I really love this street with these really old acacia trees. It's really nice. So we're gonna just walk through here and then go into the church. Now each town that was platted by the Spanish had an old church. A lot of them were destroyed during earthquakes. And so there's only so many left. Now the old part of this tower, you can tell, is part of the original church. How much has been changed, it's hard to say, but we'll at least check it out. So this is the back side of the tower. So I'll give you a kind of a little wide shot here. So there's the tower, there's the chapel part of the church. And this part may be old. It just may be that the outside has changed over the years. We're gonna find out if I can get inside it. I love these old buildings. I wish there were more old buildings left. Let's go all the way to the top. Let's show you what it looks like. There we go, all the way to the top. Now, I'm not sure what the different levels meant. There's bells in 2 of the levels, as far as I can see. Hello. So look at this old doorway that they blocked up. Now, one thing I want you to notice is how tight the construction is for the blocks. These are all handmade blocks. And I want to say they're made out of some kind of a coral. And each one was turned into the closest square that they could design. And then they fit it in place. Look at how tight that is. It's all by hand. Now, if you look at the concrete construction today, it's kind of sad compared to what they did way back when they made this. So I'm trying to understand the purpose of this doorway arch. If it was added later, or if it was part of the original construction, because the blocks look to be the same age and size and design, the way they're fitted in. So maybe the doorway was added in at the same time. Hard to say. All right, so let's go to this doorway here. Let's check out this little doorway. That's pretty cool looking, right? Now this is to the tower. I don't know if I can see in there. A little rope here, but I'm gonna sneak in here. See if we can see through here. Just a bunch of debris. Not sure what it was used for, but okay. Oh, there's a stairway that goes up to the tower, I'm sure. So this was the doorway to the stairs that went up. Okay. Ah, good. Here's the sign. Alright, so here's the main full view of the church. Hopefully I can get far enough back with this camera lens to get a full shot of it. I keep going back, just using my iPhone for this one. So this church is old, but it's not as old as I thought it would have been. But nevertheless, it's pretty old for the Philippines because there really is very little left. All right, so this is the old church in Dauin. And it sounds like there's a church service in here. So I'm gonna poke my head in here and see what's going on. Let's check it out. Oh, it's a funeral. So some churches, they use a river rock and a mortar. And I'm not sure if that was a later design. It's obviously faster to do it that way than it is to try to cut out your own coral rock pieces. All right, so here again you have your park plaza right across from the church. And then there's a market close by also. You can see they got a pretty nice park here. So I've noticed they're starting to put some of the tourist centers in the parks, in their big plaza parks, which makes it kind of convenient. So this is a nice park. So you have Dumaguete, Bacong, and then Dauin, and this is the third town down in the line of towns. Now, one thing you'll notice is on some of the very earliest towns, they'll border the ring around the island toward the ocean side. And best I can tell is it was hard to make roads back in those days. So if you could make it close to the ocean and follow that perimeter, you didn't have far in to go. And it was probably an easier road to make versus having to bushwhack into the jungle. Interesting to have this little mini view deck you can walk up, kind of get a bird's eye view of the park. So up we go. No missed opportunities here. Oh, this will give us a great view. All right. Oh, they even got a nice basketball court. Look at that. So the towns that are closest to Dumaguete, they're pretty affluent towns. Dauin has a very large tourist population, has a lot of very high-end resorts. So it's not a poor community by any means. It's one of the few parks that actually has a running water fountain. A lot of parks have fountains, but they're just not running. All right, so there's the town hall right across from the park. One nice thing about Dauin is it's just a few blocks down from the ocean. Got some guys that are cutting a tree. I don't see a lot of boom trucks in the Philippines. It's kind of interesting to see. All right, so you can swim for an allowed maximum of 1 hour stay in the water. Interesting.
Hey, Vern.